Turn to this, 1,010 miles. That is the length of the Texas-Mexico border, and just about half the length of the entire U.S.-Mexico border. It's estimated there were 11 million unauthorized immigrants that crossed the border back in 2015. But while the plans of the border wall are still plans, and right now they're sort of still cooling their jets on the back burner, apprehensions and arrests at the border are down roughly 9% in just April at a 17-month low. What's it like on the borderline? Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive, Mark Hainds, who walked those 1,010 miles, U.S., Texas, Mexico, and has started part 2 of the walk along the western part of the border. And you're documenting this for PBS, correct?
Yes, a film came out last year called Frontera that documented my entire walk along the Texas-Mexico border.
Tell me why you decided to do this, Mark.
I've attributed it to kind of a midlife crisis. I was 20 years with Auburn University in an organization called the Longleaf Alliance, and I decided I wanted to get away and do something I didn't think anybody had done before, which was walk the Texas-Mexico border. I did that. I found out one other guy has done that. I came back. I wrote a book about it. It'll be coming out this fall. And then I decided that wasn't enough. I was going to walk the entire U.S.-Mexico border.
What I found fascinating is that you decided and you began this odyssey back in 2015, well before the Build the Wall chants. And first, let's reach back to that point. What were ranchers whom you encountered and Border Patrol agents? I believe you even spent the night at a couple of Border Patrol agents' houses and they helped you along the way. What were their emotions about building a wall?
I have to say the vast majority of the people I've interacted along the way have been against further construction of the wall, or further militarization, if you want to put it that way. If you was going to pick one community out that might be a little bit more pro-wall, it'd probably be the ranching community.
I would think so, because they discover on a pretty much a weekly basis bodies on their property. Their equipment has been stolen. Their property is ruined in many regards. And look, when it comes to the bodies, 31, you discovered 31 bodies found on one ranch, 17 on another. A total of 6,000 people have died trying. So I would imagine, as you now have started your Arizona walk, are they even more in favor of this wall?
Again, most of the people I'm meeting along the border zone between the checkpoints in U.S. and checkpoints in Mexico, have been against further construction of the wall.
Why?
They kind of see
Why?
it as
That surprises me.
Well, yeah, the areas I'm going into are so remote in many cases, there aren't any Border Patrol agents right there. They're further up. They patrol along roads and places they can access. So I think they find it much more effective to put up these listening posts. I walked through a bunch of those along the Coronado National Forest, and there's almost no way to get through there without them hearing or seeing you. And I think a lot of people consider that to be a more effective method of controlling immigration.
What about this, Mark, that President Trump, the mere threat and the mere build the wall chants, they haven't laid one brick yet, new brick. They haven't put up one bit of barbed wire or put any pound of cement down there, and yet border crossings are now down to a 17-year low. He is able to accomplish what hasn't worked for years, and that would be the more traditional attempts to keep people out. What are you hearing about that?
Well, I don't know that it's quite accurate. When I was coming out of El Paso at Christmas, they were already constructing an additional wall there. I think that might have been in place before the election, so there is some construction going on. Yeah, it does seem like a lot of the immigrant families view America as kind of a more hostile place, and I think that's having an impact on immigration. I think that could be attributed to Donald Trump, yes.
You had law enforcement the first time around helping you. You are now on it alone. We wish you luck. Are you worried about, how are you going to ensure your survival?
Well, there's been a lot of close calls. I talk about these in my book that's coming out this fall, and I generally check in when I can. I let people know where I'm going to be, and I let people know where I'll be coming out the other end of these remote stretches. And if something happens, then hopefully they'll come and look for me.
What's the name of the book?
It'll be Border Walk will be
Border
the
Walk,
working
okay.
title for this fall.
Please do me a favor. Come back when it comes out. Thank you very much.
I would love to. Thank you, Liz.
Mark Hainds is a professor and the subject of the documentary La Frontera. He is now continuing that odyssey along the border. We appreciate you being here. It is 30